Batting fourth in right field.
From Slammer Stadium in downtown Joliet, Illinois. This evening,
Hitting fifth, the first baseman.
we continue our coverage of Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference Tournament Baseball here in 2025, as tonight it'll be game 2 of our tournament between the St. Xavier Cougars and the Indiana South Bend Titans. Hi again, everybody, and good evening. I'm Tom Westenfeld. Great to have you along with us as we roll on to game number 2 here today. Opening game of the tournament. Good ball game. 8-3 the final in favor of Olivet Nazarene. That's a little bit of a deceiving score. That game was close until the very late innings, and then Olivet Nazarene broke it open with a rally in the 9th inning. And so Olivet Nazarene now will face Judson tomorrow at 10 a.m. And Viterbo will play an elimination game tomorrow night at 7 p.m. And that will be against the loser of the 4th game. Game number 2 here against St. Xavier against Indiana South Bend. St. Xavier coming into the ball game 27-22 on the season, while Indiana South Bend, the number 6 seed, at 22-28. Let's take a look now at the batting orders for tonight's ball game. For Indiana South Bend, it'll be Braden Leithad leading it off in left field, followed by Jack Ryan at second base. Gabriel Cortez batting third and a DH. Caleb Farnham batting fourth and in right field. It will be Joe Jefferson batting fifth and at first base. Josiah Nelson batting sixth and in center field. It'll be Clint Goodman batting seventh and at third base, followed by Nick Turner, the catcher, and then Lucas Brown will be batting ninth. He'll be playing shortstop. Andrew Parker on the mound today for Indiana South Bend here in Game 2 of the tournament for St. Xavier. It'll be Sean Moore leading it off and in left field, followed by John Simasek batting second and at DH. Justin Massengale batting third and at second base. Aaron Orzek batting fourth and catching. It'll be Gabe Kirk batting fifth and at first base. Noah Dreyer batting sixth and at shortstop. Shea Brozek batting seventh and at third base. Michael Flyer batting eighth and at right field. And it'll be Travis Hammond batting ninth and at center field. Jimmy Fairley on the mound today for St. Xavier. The winner of this ball game will play tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. against number 2 seeded St. Ambrose. And we are just about ready to get underway here for game number 2 on opening day of the 2025 CCAC Baseball Championship Tournament. And it'll be Indiana South Bend, the visiting team, since they are the lower seed here for this ball game. And warm-up toss is being made as Jimmy Fairley, 6'1" pitcher from Lake in the Hills, Illinois, far northwest suburbs of Chicago, is going to be on the mound to start the ball game off here for St. Xavier. Fairley this season, coming into the ball game, an 8-1 record with a 2.40 ERA. This will be his 12th appearance, all in a starting role. Has one complete game, 56 and a third innings pitched, and that is second on the squad. He has allowed 58 hits, 18 runs, 15 earned, 14 walks, 29 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .261 against him. A chilly day here today, a little bit of a cloudy and cool day. Temperature right now 59 degrees as we approach game time. And again, Indiana South Bend about to get things started, and we are about ready to get underway. Just about at 6:16 p.m. Central Daylight Saving Time. It'll be Braden Leithad now to lead it off here. He's a .298 hitter on the year, 2 home runs, 25 runs batted in, and the first pitch is in for a called strike, and it is 0-1. As was the case in the first game, a little bit of a technical issue with the main scoreboard, so we'll try to keep the count as accurately as possible. Here's the set now and the 0-1, and that'll be outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Indiana South Bend getting in as the number 6 seed in this tournament. 6 versus 3 matchup here. Swinging a pop foul to the right side out of play. Top 2 seeds getting buys in automatic second-round berths here in this tournament. Top seed is Judson. They'll play Olivet Nazarene tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Breaking ball in there, and just missed. Called it a little bit too early there. Just missed on the inside edge for a ball to make it 2 balls and 2 strikes. I thought for sure that would be a 3rd strike there. It didn't happen. 2-2. Fairly working quickly in the pitch. A heater swung on, popped up left side, foul territory, and that'll be out of play. Brozic at third base giving chase there, not able to get to it, running out of room. A little bit windier than it was for the first game today. At least it seems that way, hearing the wind riffle through our effects microphone. As there's a fastball down and away, and that'll run it full, 3-2. We were talking about during the first game, not a lot of deep counts, but right off the bat here we have a 3-2 situation. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll be out number 1. So 1 away, and that'll bring to the plate the second baseman, Jack Ryan. So Ryan stands in.
Baseman number 4, Jack Ryan.
Left-handed hitter, hitting .283 on the year. 9 home runs, 53 runs batted in. The 9 home runs leading the team. And the first pitch here. He goes after this one and pops it up short center field. And that will fall in for a base hit. Wide turn at first base, but now Ryan will put on the brakes, and he will be aboard at first base with 1 away in the inning. A bloop single there. And that'll bring to the plate now Gabriel Cortez. Loose ball here on the infield. That'll be retrieved. Cortez leading the team at .351 as far as batting average goes. 52 hits and 148 at-bats this year. Has 5 home runs, 30 runs batted in. Has an on-base percentage of .438, a slugging percentage of .514. Here's the set. 1-on-1 out in the inning, and the first pitch is in there. Called strike. 0-1. Caleb Farnham next, and then it'll be Joe Jefferson here for Indiana South Bend. Look over at first base. And the pitch. Missing outside to even it up 1-1. So Jimmy Fairley trying to work his way around a 1-out base runner here in the top of the first inning. Throw to first base, kind of a sidearm throw there, and the runner back in safely. Kind of watching that in real time. Starting to wonder now, I haven't really noticed it that much so far. See if this is a side-winding delivery here from the right-hander. Long set, and that'll be swung on in the air. Right center field, and that will be caught for the out. Hammond makes the catch in center, 2 away in the inning now. As Ryan going back to first base. And now that'll bring to the plate Caleb Farnham. Farnham, left-handed batter, stands in. Back foot just inside the back line of the batter's box. He's a .333 hitter on the year, has 7 home runs, 41 runs batted in, and immediately he's behind at 0-1. So righty versus lefty situation here. And the 0-1 pitch. Down and in. Looked like that had some movement. I wasn't ready to call it as the pitch was en route. I wasn't ready to call it a fastball. It did have movement on it, but also it did look like it had a little speed as well. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. Runner going, pitches down and away, and no throw here, and so Jack Ryan is in at second base. Count to the batter, Farnham, is 2 balls and a strike. So Ryan takes his lead off second, and the pitch. And it hits the batter. We had a number of those in the first game, and we get an early hit by pitch here, and that puts runners at first and second. So the trouble beginning to mount here a little bit for St. Xavier in the top of this inning. For Fairley, he now has to face a runner at first and second. Here's the first pitch coming in, and it'll be a called strike. As to the plate now is Joe Jefferson, the first baseman. Jefferson this year hitting at a .265 clip. 2 home runs, 17 runs batted in. Runners take their leads in the pitch. And then a miss outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Ryan aboard at second after singling and then stealing a base, and then Farnham aboard at first after being hit by a pitch. 1-1 the count here now to Jefferson. The delivery. Taking, knee-high called strike. Josiah Nelson awaiting on deck here for Indiana South Bend. St. Xavier right now looking to get this third out. 2 on, 2 out in the inning. The delivery missed outside. So Indiana South Bend, the Titans looking to put the first run of the game on the board. Lights have been on since before the first game started. They're now starting to take a little bit of an effect here in this overcast evening. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. So the Titans threaten but do not score. No runs in the inning. On a hit, no errors, a hit batter, 2 left on base. After a half inning, it's Indiana South Bend nothing, and St. Xavier coming to bat. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. Andrew Parker on the mound to start things off here in this game for Indiana South Bend as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Indiana South Bend threatening but not able to score in the top half of the frame. Parker this year a 3-5 record with a 5.98 earned run average. This is his 13th appearance, his 8th start of the year. Has 1 complete game, 43 2/3 innings pitched, 53 hits, 42 runs, 29 of them earned. 14 walks, 19 strikeouts. The opponent's average is at .305. Sean Moore to lead it off now here for St. X. As we go, bottom 1 in the first pitch here will be in for a called strike on the outer half. No balls and a strike here for Moore. Moore, a .352 hitter, 3 home runs, 26 runs batted in. Here's the 0-1. Down and in, and that'll even the count now. 1 ball and 1 strike. 59 degrees, the game time temperature, as we are now hours away from the end of the month of April. The year already, a third over here in 2025. There's a fastball in for a strike on the inner half. So now 1-2 for Sean Moore. Righty versus lefty here. The pitch. This is drilled, hammered right back up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Wow, it looked like there Moore. Perfect timing on the swing, and he caught that ball right in the sweet spot, right on the fat part of the bat there, and it's a line single to start the game for St. X.
Designated hitter number 26, John Simasek.
So now here's John Simasek to the plate. He's the DH for St. X. He comes in hitting .351. Has 6 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Here's the set now by Parker. And the pitch. Fastball, missing outside. Runner going, throw to second base, and the call will be safe. So Moore steals a base. And right away, St. Xavier now with a runner in scoring position. Here's the set now by Parker. Pitch clock now under 10, and the pitch here. Bounce to the right side. On one knee, backhanding there at second base, and then the throw to first base in time for the out. Good play by Ryan there. Sliding to grab it, and then throwing to first base right on the money for the out. But a good advancement there, a productive out, as Simasek hits the ball to the right side with a runner at second, less than 2 away. So Sean Moore to third. 1 out now for Justin Massengale. Massengale hitting right even at .320. 9 home runs, 36 runs batted in. First pitch here, and that'll be, wow, that looked borderline there, and I think it was over but low. 1 ball, no strikes. As that pitch came in, looking at it live in real time, I thought that was going to be a called strike, but that didn't happen. The set by Parker in the delivery. Fastball, missing inside, 2-0. St. Xavier trying to push across that first run of the ball game here tonight. Under overcast skies, the delivery, breaking ball, and that will be in for a called strike. Aaron Orzek next, and then it'll be Gabe Kirk due up here for St. Xavier in the bottom of the first inning. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Good fastball there. Actually, he got a piece of it for a foul tip. Strike either way. And now it's 2-2. Here's the set now by Andrew Parker. The 2-2 offering. Swung on in the air. And that's sinking quickly, and it'll be, I believe, out there on 1 hop. Yeah, it got out there on 1 hop as it was kind of tipped into the air there by Nelson in center field after the hop, and he kind of had to wait for gravity to pull it down and then get the ball back in. But a run scores, and St. Xavier has the early 1-0 lead. So the RBI single pays dividends for St. X. Here now is Aaron Orzek, the catcher.
Catcher number 34, Aaron Orzek.
So Orzek now to bat. He has a .422 average. 8 homers, 43 runs batted in. While I was reading the stats, looked up and the pitch came in, and I believe it was a strike. We'll check here. Yeah, no balls and a strike is the count here now to Orzek. The delivery. Strike call to the knees. Runner going. Throw to second base. And they get him. Umpire's back was to us. Wasn't sure whether the call was out or safe there, but it'll be a caught stealing, and that'll be the second out of the inning. A little bit of a discussion here now. Coach and umpire along the third base line. Had a couple of these situations in the first game today, and umpires met on multiple occasions to try to make sure that the initial call was correct. And the call will stand here, and now Orzek will go back to the plate now, hitting with 2 out and nobody on base. A run in for St. Xavier. Here's the set and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Well off the outside edge. And Orzek coming up empty, and that'll end the inning. But St. Xavier able to cash in the leadoff single. They pick up a run in the inning. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and none left on base. And after 1 complete, it's St. Xavier 1, Indiana South Bend nothing. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball.
For Indiana South Bend, center fielder, number 3, Josiah Nelson.
Josiah Nelson now to start it off here for Indiana South Bend as we head to the top half of inning number 2. 1-0 in favor of St. Xavier, and the first pitch here will be in there for a called strike. Nelson, Goodman, and Turner do up here for the Titans, who trail 1-0. So Jimmy Fairley on the mound, been staked to a 1-0 lead. He delivers here, and that's fouled to the backstop. No balls and 2 strikes. Nelson, right-handed batter, back into the box. And the pitch. Looks like came in a little bit low and away. There's a swing down, a pop foul back off to the right out of play. 2-strike situation here now for Nelson. Nelson is a .238 hitter this year. Has a home run and 17 runs batted in. The pitch. Kind of reached out on that one and skies it into the air. Right field, curling there a little bit toward the line. And the catch made for out number 1.
Third baseman, number 34, Clint Goodman.
So on away for Clint Goodman, the third baseman. Goodman, a .273 hitter, has a home run and 20 runs batted in. Jammed on the first pitch here, and it's pop foul right side out of play. Indiana South Bend, they had a single and a hit by a pitch in the first inning, but not able to capitalize. The 0-1, a little bit high, might have been a tad outside. I think more of the former than the latter. Either way, it's a 1-1 count now after the pitch coming in and missing. Here's the set and the delivery. Missed inside. Indiana South Bend is a team this year, a .269 batting average, .401 slugging percentage, .386 on base percentage, as there's a strike. Here's the set and the delivery. Jammed him, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll be out number 2. 2 away, and that'll bring to the plate Nick Turner. Turner hitting .246. No home runs and 8 runs batted in. Fairley after, as there's a ball low and away, 1 ball, no strikes. Fairley after a little bit of a bumpy ride in the first inning, trying to set Indiana South Bend down an order here in inning number 2. The pitch taken down and in. And it is now 2 balls and no strikes. Lucas Brown would be next if the inning continues. Here's the delivery. Swung on and skied into the air. That is headed out toward right center field. Underneath it is Hammond. Makes the catch one-handed style, and that'll end the inning. So, the Titans down in order in inning number 2. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on base. And we head to the bottom of inning number 2. It is St. Xavier 1, Indiana South Bend nothing. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. We move to the bottom of the second inning here in Game 2 of the 2025 CCAC Baseball Tournament. And it'll be Gabe Kirk to lead it off here now for St. X. St. Xavier able to plate a run, taking advantage of a leadoff single in the first inning, so they lead 1-0 here going to the bottom of the second. There's a called strike. And 0-1 now to the St. X first baseman. Left-handed hitter crowding the plate with that stance. Andrew Parker deals, and that'll be a fastball upstairs. Kirk, a .385 hitter this year, 15 home runs, 43 runs batted in. He's been able to knock the ball around here in 2025. The 1-1. Golf swing there as the pitch was down in the zone, and it's going to be a 1-2 count as Kirk coming up empty. And here's the set now by Parker. The pitch. Kind of a golf swing and in the air. Medium deep right field, and that ball will, it looks like, fall in for the hit.
Shortstop, number
so here's Noah Dreyer as Kirk able to reach base to start the St. Xavier second inning. So Kirk with the single to right. Oh, I thought there that Farnham was drawing a bead on it there in right field. So here now is Dreyer. He takes outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Dreyer, a .297 hitter, 7 home runs and 28 runs batted in this season. Bottom of 2, St. Xavier leading in 1-0, looking for more. Lights now taking a little bit more of an effect here on this gloomy Wednesday early evening. There's a fastball upstairs. Dreyer, right-handed batter, awaits. Here's the set and the delivery. Missing down and away. You can see the shadows right now starting to be cast by the lights on the field turf surface here, as there's a strike called on a letter high fastball. Jay Brozick next, as he awaits on deck for St. Xavier. The pitch, fastball, strike on the outer edge. So the at-bat continues. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Looked like Dreyer thought he had a walk there. We had a couple of occasions where that happened in the first game. The delivery, swung on, and this will be hit to the right side, and that will be down for a base hit. Station to station here, and runners now at first and second after back-to-back singles to the right side for St. Xavier. Here's Shea Brozek now. Brozek's a .333 hitter this season. Has not yet homered. He has 10 runs batted in. Chance to drive in a run here. So 2 on, and nobody out in the inning. So St. Xavier in business here. Scoring the bunt, the pitch coming in high and tight for ball 1. So Andrew Parker, the makings of a jam here. He could certainly be helped by a double play. Jefferson moving in on the infield, what would be the infield grass on a natural surface. He is in at first base. Here's the set now. And the pitch. Well, a lot of movement going on in the infield as there's the fastball coming in up high. Just before the pitch was delivered, Brown at short went breaking in a sprint toward third base. Right now, Goodman at third is even with a bag. Here's the set now. And the pitch. Bunted, popped into the air, and that will land right in front of the third base dugout. So St. Xavier trying to advance as Brozek not able to lay one down there. Count moves now to 2 balls and 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the second inning, and it is a 1-0 St. Xavier lead. Parker looks in for the sign, comes set. And the pitch, nope, throw to second base and the runner back in. A little bit of a wheel play look there on that defensive setup that's been going on throughout the at-bat here defensively for Indiana South Bend. The count to the batter as Brozek stands in. And the pitch. He bunts the ball. This time it'll roll foul to the left side, so now a 2-strike situation here for Brozek. St. X third baseman back to the batter's box. Now the set by Parker. Bit of a pause. Now the pitch to the plate. High and inside. That'll run it, I believe, down to 3-2. Well, a miss here would load the bases. St. Xavier scoring a run right off the bat in the first inning, looking to add on here still in the early days of this game. Here's the set now, and the payoff. Scoring to bunt, laid it down, almost to the mound. Picked up there by Parker, throw to first base, and that'll be a 1-4 putout as Ryan, the second baseman, covering. And the runners here advance now to second and third. Here now is Michael Flyer. Flyer, a .270 hitter on the year. Does have 6 home runs, and he's driven in 19. Right-handed hitting right fielder waits the first pitch, a curve. Strike called on the outer half, and it's 0-1. Travis Hammond next, then we would recycle back to the top of the St. Xavier order. Bottom of 2, 1-0 St. Xavier the lead. Infield now in all around here for Indiana South Bend. Here's the pitch, swung on, popped up, right side, foul territory and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Parker trying to get out of a jam here without any damage. The pitch, breaking ball, and that'll be sailing to the backstop here. Runner from third will come in to score. There was a throw, but well too late. And really, Indiana South Bend was lucky there. That throw back to the pitcher covering from the catcher. Turner was a little bit offline. Turner had to reach out to grab it. So the run coming in to score. Kirk scoring. It's now a 2-0 St. X lead. On the play, Dreyer to third. Count to the batter now, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the infield in all around now. And the pitch. Well, that was up in the zone and popped up right side. Looks like it's going to remain on the infield here. Calling for it and making the catch. That's Ryan at second base for the out. So 2 away, and that'll leave it up now to Travis Hammond.
Center fielder number 2, Travis Hammond.
So Hammond now will stand in. Still a runner at third, 2 away in the inning. So that third run of the ball game still 90 feet away for St. Xavier. First pitch here. And this is drilled to center field. It'll drop in for a base hit. Solidly struck on the first pitch. And St. Xavier now leads it 3-0. Dreyer coming in to score without an issue. And that was solidly struck there. It looked like it came a little bit inside as well, but Hammond got around on it and deposited it into center field for the RBI single. Back to the top of the order now, and Sean Moore. So 2 across. St. Xavier's had leadoff singles in both innings of this game, and they've been able to take advantage. Both have scored. Moore had that first leadoff single in the opening inning. First pitch is outside. Runner going to second, throw not in time, as Brown, the shortstop, covering, and so Travis Hammond is in with a stolen base. Count to the batter, Sean Moore is 1-0. St. Xavier here being aggressive. Here's the set now. The 1-0 delivery. Curve, missed outside. So 2 balls and no strikes. Right now it seems St. Xavier's been able to take advantage of every small opening they've been given so far here in the early going of the ball game. The 2-0. Fastball outside. Well, that's what successful teams do. If you get an opening, any kind of opening, you take advantage. St. Xavier getting a little help defensively after the wild pitch. And there is ball 4 outside. A 4-pitch walk to Sean Moore. And he is aboard for the second time in the ball game. Here's John Simasek now. This is turning into a lengthy inning defensively for Indiana South Bend. Looks like we'll have a new pitcher coming into the ball game. So, Andrew Parker not lasting long in this ball game. And Indiana South Bend will turn to the bullpen to try to keep this game relatively close. Pitching change. We'll take a break, tell you more about it after a break. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. Right-hander Alex Marshall, who hails from Indianapolis, Indiana, coming on now for Indiana South Bend to pitch. As he'll try to keep this ball game where it is, which right now is a 3-0 lead for St. Xavier. Marshall this year 1-1 with an 8.38 ERA, 10 appearances previously, 1 start, 19 in the third innings, 32 hits, 18 runs, all of them earned, 8 walks, 8 strikeouts, opponents hitting .395 against him. John Simasek will be the first batter he faces now. And the first pitch, runners going, no throw from behind the plate. The pitch, I believe, was called a ball, and it's 1-0. Runners advancing here. So now runners at second and third on the double steal. Simasek is 0 for 1, grounded to second base his first time up. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Good change up there. Count even now at a ball and a strike. Here's the set now. And the delivery up in the zone and pulled but foul wide of the bag at third. So a 2-strike situation here. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count on the pitch. Fastball bouncing in just beyond the outside edge of the plate. Good stop behind the plate there by Turner. And we're even at 2-2. St. Xavier, they've had a lot of traffic on the base paths here today. Right now they have runners at second and third. They've scored twice in the inning. The set now and the 2-2. Down and away, and again a good stop behind the plate there by Turner. 3-2, and a miss here would load the bases. Justin Massengale waiting on deck here for St. Xavier. Three balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. This is hit sharply, but directly at third base. Scooped up there. Throw across the diamond, a little bit low. Dug out nicely there by Jefferson on the other end from the throw from Goodman, and that'll end the inning. But St. Xavier able to do that, do damage as they pick up 2 runs in the inning. On 3 hits, no errors, a wild pitch, and a couple left on base, and after 2 complete, it is St. Xavier 3, Indiana South Bend nothing. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. A little bit of a different tournament format as far as the scheduling goes. Day 1 today, just 2 ball games, then 4 tomorrow. We'll be right back at it tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. It'll be Olivet Nazarene against Judson in our first second-round game here in Joliet. Here we go now to the top of the 3rd inning, and the first pitch here will miss outside. 1 ball, no strikes, as the shortstop, Lucas Brown, is due up here for Indiana South Bend. Brown, Leathed, and Ryan due up here for the Titans. Started a swing. It's a strike either way. So 1 ball, 1 strike here to Brown. Brown, left-handed batter, stands in, wasting no time getting right back into his batting stance. I don't think he ever left the box. That one will miss outside. Brown, a .288 hitter. A homer and 15 runs batted in. The pitch. Fastball. Strike called to the letters. Thought that might have come in a little bit high, but the umpire puts up the right arm, so now a ball and 2 strikes. Correction, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Bounding ball to the right side. Scooped up there at second base by Massengale. Throw to first base, 1 away in the inning. Back to the top of the order, and Brandon Leathed.
Left fielder, number 19, Braden Leathed.
Braden Leathed swinging strikeout back in the first inning. Right-handed batter stands in, and the pitch. Missing outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Jack Ryan next, then it would be Gabriel Cortez for Indiana South Bend. When you look at things kind of from Indiana South Bend's point of view, swung on in a solid single to left field here. A little bit of an arc to that ball. Wasn't a rocket, but still a solidly struck single there, and Leathed is aboard with a 1-out base hit for Indiana South Bend. Here's Jack Ryan. Was just about to say here, Indiana South Bend coming in, number 6 seed. You're glad to be in the tournament, but that 6th seed of 6 teams, it's always kind of a difficult path to try to forge ahead. Here's Ryan now, a single, a stolen base in this game. Throw to first base and the runner back in standing up. We're in the top of the 3rd inning, and it is a 3-0 St. Xavier lead. Here's the pitch. Swung on and pop foul left side, and that'll be out of play. Ryan, as we said, had a single, and he stole a base in the first inning, but was stranded at second. Throw to first base here, and the runner back in. And again, that sidearm throw by Jimmy Fairley, almost, in a way, not far from being a submariner there. He comes set, and the pitch popped up. Right side. Who wants it? It'll be called for there by the second baseman, Massengale, for the out. Dreyer, the shortstop, came sprinting over, but they're now 2 away in the inning. As that goes as a pop out to second. And here now is Gabriel Cortez. Cortez, the Titan designated hitter, fly to center field his first time up. So 2-out runner at first base, 3-0 St. X with a lead. The pitch. That was right in the zone and swung on in a kind of a soft one hopper to shortstop. Throw to second base for the short way to end the inning on the force play. Dreyer to Massengale there, and that'll close out the inning. So Indiana South Bend getting a 1-out single, cannot move that runner around. No runs in the inning on a hit, no errors, a runner left on base. And we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It is St. Xavier 3 and Indiana South Bend nothing. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball.
Leading off for St. Xavier, second baseman, number 11, Justin Massengale.
So here we go, top of 3. Justin Massengale lead it off now for St. Xavier. Here's the wind of the first pitch, and that'll be a curve that misses, look like a little bit low. 1 ball, no strikes. Massengale singling and a run back in the first inning, was later out on the bases. The pitch. Reaches out on that one, chops it up the third base line, and that'll kind of bounce foul. 1-1 the count. Massengale, after reaching, was out on a 2-4 putout later in the inning. A bit of a delay here, bit of a break. Now it appears we're ready to resume. Here's the 1-1. Jammed and pulled foul left side. So Andrew Parker's pitching line for Indiana South Bend going an inning and 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, all of which were earned, walking 1, striking out 1. He faced 10 batters. The set now and the delivery. Fouled back out of play. Alex Marshall so far tossing a third of an inning officially. Coming set here. Massengale awaiting in the pitch. Swinging a high pop-up near the bag at first base. Drifting into foul territory, overrunning the ball. The ball lands. I was shielded there. Didn't see it was a foul ball. Jefferson came in, overran it, tried to reach back, and then when the ball landed, he was between myself on the view and where the ball landed. Wasn't sure right away it was foul, but it was. And so the at-bat will continue. And that ball landed right behind Jefferson, who came in. Mentioned earlier on, a little bit more windy than it was during the first game today. Although not right now at the moment, so I don't know if wind was an issue on that last pop-up. Either way, a ball and 2 strikes remaining the count here now to Justin Massengale. The pitch. Overthrew that one, and it bounces in front of the other batter's box, the opposing batter's box. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the set now. The delivery. Swinging a pop-up right side, foul territory and out of play. A good battle going on here between Marshall and Massengale. Not keeping track of the actual pitches of the at-bat, so can't fix a number on that. Here's the delivery. Up and into the zone, and it's chopped foul right near the third base coach's box, and the at-bat continuing on. So we hold at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Massengale back into the batter's box. The set. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball. And that'll miss. Well, full disclosure, I'm not sure whether that one coming in from our angle, whether that was high or low. I'm going to guess maybe around shoulder level. Either way it goes as a ball, and it's now 3-2. This at bat going by not very quickly. Here's the set now and the payoff. Jammed him, and it's fouled off to the right. So the at bat continues. So we stay in a 3-2 situation. Marshall, long pause, now deals. Swung on in the air, deep left field, back toward the track. It goes to the wall, And that ball will be gone for a home run. Massengale, great at bat to say the least there, putting a charge into that one. And St. Xavier now has a 4-0 lead. So a solo blast provides the Cougars with their 4th run of the game. Massengale's 10th home run of the year. First pitch here, that ball is ripped but fouled on the left field line and as it goes scorching into the bullpen. 0-1 now to Aaron Orzik. Initially, when the ball came off the bat, Leathid went back in left field, and I thought the way he was reacting that he would have room, but it just kept going and going and over the wall. There's a strike called. So our first home run of the game going to Justin Massengale for St. Xavier. And he adds to his team's lead now, which is, for this part of the game, fairly sizable. 4-0 the score. There's a fastball upstairs. And the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Here's the set. And the pitch. And that'll be hit well in the left field. That's going to go into some open space. It may roll all the way to the fence. It does. Extra bases here as Orzik pulling into second base with a double as that follows up the leadoff home run. So Orzik now 1 for 2. Well, out in left field there, Leathhead was playing almost more toward the gap than playing him to pull, and that ball landed in open space and had a long way to roll. Turned out to be extra bases. Here now is Gabe Kirk. Kirk a single. And then later on in the second inning, he scored on a wild pitch. Orzik takes the lead at second base. Kirk kind of windmilling the bat around. Now he's ready to go. Here's the set now. Turning to throw to second base and the runner back in on a headfirst dive. So Aaron Orzik, the 2-base hit, he takes his lead at second. Pitch to the plate. Swing and a miss down in the dirt there, and the count goes to no balls and a strike. We know it's turf, but we'll go with in the dirt anyway. Orzik with that double, it was his 17th 2-base hit of the year. There's a throw to second base and the runner back in. Right now, so far in this ball game, everything going St. Xavier's way in the final of 2 games today, an opening day doubleheader in this 2025 CCAC tournament. Here's the delivery to the plate. Golf swing and a bouncer wide of first foul. So now 0-2 here to Gabe Kirk. Noah Dreyer waiting on deck. Orzik takes the lead off second base. The pitch. Bouncing in front of the plate there. Good stop behind the plate there by Turner. Now a ball and 2 strikes here to the St. X first baseman. St. Xavier so far now, they have already been able to rack up 7 hits in this game. The pitch. Called swing and pulled down the right field line toward the corner. Long run to the corner, sliding attempt to the catch, and that looks like it wound up to be a foul ball. That went into an area very difficult to see down the right field corner. Good effort there by Farnham in right. So we'll try it again. With some ominous looking clouds out beyond center field. We had rain at the start of the day. Just a little bit of drizzle coming in. Actually kind of before the ball game began. It was kind of raining lightly. There's a turn and a throw to second base and the runner back in. Very light rain when I arrived here right around 2 p.m. for game number 1 today. Right now it looks like we're precipitation free in the area. Pitch to the plate, high and away. Right now, on the mound here, Alex Marshall seems to be really laboring. The count to the batter, 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's a swing and a fly ball, right center field. And calling for it, the center fielder Nelson makes the catch. Runner from second tagging up. He will go to third base. Throw coming in, but it was well to the home plate side of the bag at third. So Orzek able to take third as Kirk flies to center for the first out of the inning. Here's Noah Dreyer. Dreyer, a single, later scored. I'm trying to remember now in my mind, we were talking about the different scheduling. There's a breaking ball in for a called strike. So we start on a Wednesday. Normally the tournament would start on a Thursday. And I'm trying to think back if I mentioned if this was Wednesday or Thursday earlier in the broadcast. Anyway, the count, no balls and a strike. Minor point, although it does help to know the days of the week when you're when you're trying to get where you need to go. There's a swing and a foul off to the right out of play. And if you're scheduled to do something on a certain day and you don't know what day of the week it is, that can present some difficulty. No balls and 2 strikes here now to Noah Dreyer. The pitch. Swing and a foul tip going straight through this weekend. Wednesday through Saturday. In past years, tournament would start either on a Thursday or Friday and then carry on into Saturday. You take a day off Sunday, then you finish the tournament early in the following week, but they're going to go here this weekend, Wednesday to Saturday. Here's the set now and the pitch. Breaking ball, and that hugs the ground to third. They'll go to the plate here to try to get the lead runner, who's now on a rundown. Running him back toward the bag at third now. Finally a throw and the tag applied for the out. Turner running him all the way, almost all the way back to the base, and eventually they get the out. So Orzek out on the base pass for the second out of the inning. Dreyer aboard at first base, and that'll bring to the plate Shea Brozak. That was a 5-2-5 put out.
Shea Brozak.
Here's Shea Brozak now, who had to sacrifice his first time up, throw to first base, and the runner back in. We've had 1 run score, but a lot's been going on in what's turning into a little bit of a lengthy bottom of the third inning. Stretching the pitch. In for a strike. We started at 6:16, so we're an hour and 1 minute into the game. And not yet through 3 innings. First game was played at a fairly brisk pace. Did not catch the time of the game. Throw to first base of the runner back in. We'll see if I can find that first game box score here. Anyway, back to the present. Stretching the pitch. Fastball, missing inside, runner going, throw to second base. That's to the first base side. Great sweep tag there at second base to get the out. Brown, beautifully done there. Ball, as I said, was on the first base side of the bag, but the tag applied, and that'll end the inning. 2 outs on the bases here for St. Xavier, and they have to settle for a run on the leadoff home run. After 3 at St. Xavier, 4, Indiana South Bend nothing, and you're tuned to CCAC Tournament Baseball.
Off the fourth inning for Indiana South Bend. Right fielder, number 20, Caleb Farnham.
So here's Caleb Farnham now as we come back to Joliet. Farnham will start it off here in the top of the fourth inning. And the first pitch is high and away, 1 ball, no strikes to Farnham, who was hit by a pitch his first time up. He was stranded at first base at the conclusion of that inning. 4-0 St. Xavier with a lead. And the 1-0 missing outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Jimmy Fairley so far, 3 strikeouts and 3 innings of work here in this game. St. X starter comes set, now the pitch. This is hammered to the right side, and it'll be a line drive into right field for the base hit. Kirk at first base giving it the great try there. I thought he was going to come up with it. But a bullet to right field for Farnham, and he's aboard to lead off the inning here for Indiana South Bend. That'll bring up Joe Jefferson.
First baseman, number 24, Joe Jefferson.
Jefferson, a strikeout victim on a swinging strikeout in the first inning, taking a breaking ball here and a little bit up high. 1 ball, no strikes. Might have been a tad inside. Indiana South Bend needing to try to get the line moving on the bases here, trailing it by 4. There's a swing and a foul. I lost the ball right off the bat there. I see it now caroming back. I think it went to the right side. Either way, 1 ball, 1 strike. St. Xavier, 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors, no runs, 3 hits, and no errors for Indiana South Bend. Here's the pitch. Missing outside. Titans able to get the leadoff single, so if you want to try and come back from a 4-0 deficit as we move to the middle innings, that's a good way to start, as the next pitch, a fastball, a little bit low, over but low. Righty on righty matchup here, and the pitch. Started a swing, held up, and it's in for a strike. So it's 3-1. Farnham takes his lead at first base, not a large lead. The 3-1 jammed him, and it's fouled off to the right. I think Jefferson may have swung at ball 4 there as the at-bat continuing. So we have a full count. Pitch clock set at 20. You get a few extra seconds with a runner on base. 3-2, low, ball 4. Good start for the Titans here in the 4th inning as they have runners at first and second to start the frame. A single and a walk. Here now is Josiah Nelson.
Center fielder, number 3, Josiah Nelson.
Nelson fly to right his first time up. Meeting at the mound now for St. Xavier. Bullpens are quiet for the moment. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., bright and early here at Joliet Slammers Stadium, as it'll be Judson against Olivet Nazarene in a winner's bracket ball game. In effect, a winner's bracket semifinal. We talked about it during the first game. You win that first game of the tournament, you just kind of feel like you're on a fast track right off the bat. Plus you have that margin for error, this being a double elimination event, whereas on the other side of the coin, Viterbo, who lost to lost to Olivet Nazarene, 8-3 in the opening game. They now have to try to win 5 in a row if they want to win a CCAC title. Meeting at the mound over with. Here's Josiah Nelson now. Nelson is 0 for 1, fly to right his first time up. So here we go. First pitch, missing outside, 1-0. Gabe Kirk in a little bit at first base, anticipating a possible bunt. There's a part here now, key part of the game. If you're the Titans, you need to move these runners over. There's the pitch coming in for a called strike, 1-1 now. Down 4-0. We've seen larger leads, larger deficits overcome over the years. As a heater coming in a little bit high and away, 2-1 now. Fairley back on the rubber. The 2-1 offering. Wanted to bunt, pulled the bat back. The pitch was in the zone anyway. And that'll even it up now 2-2. Well, let's see if that takes the bunt off. We had a situation in the first game today where one of the hitters had really a tough time trying to lay the ball down, and then with a 2-strike count was able to put down a perfect bunt. Swinging away here, and that'll be a strikeout. As Nelson a wave and a miss for the first out of the inning. So Nelson not a productive at bat there, and now that'll bring to the plate Clint Goodman.
Third baseman, number 34, Clint Goodman.
Goodman 0 for 1 with a strikeout. So 2 on, 1 away in the inning. Fairley out of the stretch, the pitch. Off speed and it misses. A little bit low, might have been a tad away. 1 ball, no strikes. Top of the 4th inning in a game that is not exactly moving along at a brisk pace. Already an hour and 10 into the ball game. Here's the pitch. Strike called on the knees to make it 1-1. I've always thought ever since it was implemented in the major leagues that the pitch clock definitely a help. The delivery fouled back to the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes. All right, here's the set now by Fairley after he looks in for the sign, the 2-2 offering. Jammed him, and a swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll be the second out. So after allowing the first 2 runners to reach base on a single and a walk, Fairley has come back and he has fanned the last 2 batters, and that'll bring to the plate Nick Turner. Turner 0 for 1, flied to center field his first time up. Left-handed batter standing in. Right now, Jimmy Fairley trying to strand these 2 runners on base. First pitch here, skied into short right center field. Actually, that has some carry to it. And that'll be caught as drifting back into his left was Hammond in center field. I thought that would not carry out nearly as far as it did as the inning comes to an end. So, Indiana South Bend, a promising start to the inning, but the inning stalls, as in the inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base. Titans have left 5 on in the game so far. And we head now to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is St. Xavier 4, Indiana South Bend nothing. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. Bottom half of inning number 4 on the way. St. Xavier with a 4 spot on the board. They're up 4-0. And Alex Marshall will face Shea Brozick to start it off here. And the first pitch is going to be a little bit low. 1 ball, no strikes. Brozick sacrificed his first time to the plate. That was on a 3-4 putout. Alex Marshall, an inning and a third so far in this game. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, and that'll be down and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Marshall so far has allowed 1 earned run. That was the home run. He's not yet walked or struck out a batter. Here's the 2-0. Strike called at the knees. Caught the outer half of the plate. 2 balls and a strike now. The pitch. Jam, then it'll be flared out to short right field. It'll fall in for a base hit. 2 hopping out to the right fielder, Farnham, who gets the ball back to the infield, and so a leadoff single here for St. Xavier. Here's Michael Flyer. St. Xavier, they had 2 batters reach base on singles in the first inning, yet the minimum came to the plate. Actually, I stand corrected, 4 came to the plate in that inning. But they have had runners everywhere on the bases seemingly in this game. Throw to first base and the runner back in. Flyer, 0 for 1. Popped to second base first time up. Bottom of the 4th inning, St. Xavier with a 4-0 lead. Set in the pitch. Got underneath that one. Popped up right side, foul territory. That'll be out of play. Righty versus righty matchup here. And the pitch. Fastball, again in the air, popped up right side, and again out of play on the first base side. 0-2 now. MLB locally. Cubs in Pittsburgh leading the Pirates 3-2. Looks like we have a possible no-hitter going on in Tampa. White Sox and Brewers tied at 2. And right field. Here's the throw to first base. 1 hopping in. That was a nice stop there by Jefferson at first base. That handcuffed him there, and he was able to reach out. He tried to make the catch, but he at least was able to deflect it and keep it in front of him to prevent that ball from getting by. 0-2 the count here now to Michael Flyer. The pitch. Swung on, hit well, and that'll be into left field for a base hit. Runners going to first and second now after the solid single. And the consistent hitting continuing for St. Xavier. Brown there at shortstop, good effort. Looked like he might have got a piece of that ball. I think the speed of the ball was hampered a little bit, but it still got into left field. Looks like we'll have a pitching change here now for Indiana South Bend. So we'll step aside, tell you more after a break as St. Xavier trying to continue to be aggressive. They lead 4-0 and looking for more here. We'll take a break and come back. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. New pitcher now for Indiana South Bend, the right-hander from Indianapolis, Indiana, Max Lyons. He will come in inheriting base runners here as we play in this bottom half of the fourth inning. Lyons, as we said, a right-hander this season. So far with an 0-1 record, a 13.50 ERA. Looks like a small sample size, 7 appearances, 3 starts, 6 2/3 innings, 13 hits, 12 runs, 10 earned, 11 walks, 1 strikeout. So here we go, and he'll try to keep this game relatively close. St. Xavier the lead 4-0. Here's Travis Hammond now, as Lyons will first face Hammond. First pitch, look out, high and tight. He squared to bunt the ball. He had to duck out of the way of that one, and I think he made contact for a foul ball. So 0-1 now for Hammond. Hammond, a single and a stolen base, advanced as far as third in the second, but did not score. Righty versus righty, the pitch. Square to bunt again, pull the bat back, the pitch coming in low. Wheel play again on there, it looked like by Indiana South Bend. Count now, a ball and a strike here for Travis Hammond. We play in the fourth. St. Xavier a 4-0 lead, looking to pad that advantage. The pitch from Lyons. Bunt attempt pulled back again. It was a called strike. Both runners going, and they'll advance. Brozick to third, Flyer to second on the double steal. And it is now, I believe, a 1-2 count. 2-1 showing here on our stats feed. Anyway, here's the delivery. Swing and a miss. Foul tip, rather. And now it will be a that is a strikeout. Yeah, that was a 2-strike situation. So, 1 away in the inning. Back to the top of the order now, and here's the left fielder, Sean Moore. Moore, a single and a walk. Runners at second and third. First pitch here. Missing outside, 1-0. It's imperative, to be honest with you, imperative for Indiana South Bend right now to keep St. Xavier where they are. Next pitch coming in down low. You fall behind by 6, and that is not a good spot to be in. 4's not great as it is, but you don't want to have it get any worse. Swinging a high pop-up left side, foul territory, and that will drift out of play. So now 2-1 to the St. Xavier leadoff hitter, who was a single and a walk. Has stolen a base and scored a run. St. Xavier now has out-hit Indiana South Bend 9-3. The pitch. Fouled back out of play. So a 2-strike situation here for Sean Moore. The set in the pitch. Topper to the right side, quickly off the mound here, and an underhand throw to first base. Close play, and they get him on a bang-bang play at first. Lines coming off quickly, had to underhand it, that had a little bit of arc to it, but they get the out. As a run coming in to score from third, Flyer to third. 1-3 on the putout, RBI there. 2 out in the inning now for John Simasek. So now a 5-0 St. Xavier lead.
Designated hitter number 26, Jake Simasek.
So here's Simasek now to the plate. First pitch here, a wave and a miss, and it's 0-1. And the 0-1 into the dirt, skipping away from home plate, and a runner will come in to score from third base. And St. Xavier, we talked a moment ago about how Indiana South Bend needed to keep the game where it was, not wanting those 2 runners to score, but the 2 runners come in. And it's now a 6-0 ball game. So John Simasek now is in a 2-0 count. Comebacker, nicely fielded there on the mound. And then Lines throws to first, but the damage done by St. Xavier. So the Cougars pick up 2 in the inning. 2 runs, 2 hits. No errors, none left on base. And we head now to the top of the 5th inning with a score. St. Xavier 6, Indiana South Bend nothing. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. We head to the middle frame of this ball game. First round of the 2025 CCAC Championship Baseball Tournament. And it'll be Lucas Brown to lead it off. 9-1-2 coming up here for Indiana South Bend. And the first pitch is in for a called strike. 0-1 now to Brown, who is 0 for 1, grounding out to second base his first time up. 6-0. St. Xavier now with the commanding lead. Jimmy Fairley out of the stretch. There's a ball sharply hit, but to second base, knocked down there, recovering. And then throwing to first base is Massengale for the out, 1 away in the inning. Massengale, he had to hurry that up quickly, was able to pick up that ball and throw to first and had a couple of steps to spare. Back to the top of the order now. Here's Braden Leathed. Leathed 1 for 2, singled his last time up. Was later out on the bases. Hitting here with 1 out, nobody on base. Going after the first pitch here, and he came up empty. Jack Ryan next. Then it would be Gabriel Cortez for the Titans, who trail by 6. Fastball missed inside to make it 1-1. A breezy and cool evening here at Joliet Slammers Field. The pitch. Strike called on the outside half. I believe the official name, Joliet Route 66 Slammers Field. Here's the delivery. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, 2 out in the inning. And that'll leave it up to Jack Ryan. Ryan 1 for 2, a single and a pop out to second base. This ballpark, I can't trace it back now to the exact year it was built. Originally for the Joliet Jackhammers franchise. There's a ball a little bit low on a fastball. And I believe the ownership of that franchise completely, basically abdicated, and the new ownership group came in. There's a swing and a ground ball. Short right field, knocked down there, and this time no recovery for Massengale. And so it'll be a 2-out base runner here coming up now for Indiana South Bend. Here's Gabriel Cortez. Cortez hit into a fielder's choice last time up. First time up, he flied to center field. So Jimmy Fairley trying to work around a 2-out base runner here. First pitch nearly hit the batter. Count 1 ball and no strikes. 6-0 St. Xavier, top of the 5th inning. The pitch. Fastball, a little bit low. 2-0. Caleb Farnham awaiting on deck. Indiana South Bend right now in need of base runners, and a lot of them. The 2-0. Fastball right down the middle. Taking all the way there was Cortez, and the count goes to 2-1. Here's the set now. And the pitch. Swung on, and that'll be hit down the right field side, and that will, I believe, get down for a base hit here. And runners will wind up at first and third. So runners at the corners in the first serious scoring threat of the game. Here for Indiana South Bend, and Caleb Farnham now will come to the plate.
Right fielder, number 20, Caleb Farnham.
So Farnham standing in. He has been hit by a pitch, and he's also singled, and he gets hit by a pitch again here, and the bases are now loaded. So Farnham has reached base in all 3 plate appearances. Not a happy way to go about it, but he'll take it. And now that'll bring up Joe Jefferson, who has a strikeout and a walk. Struck out swinging back in the first inning, walked in the 4th. So a little bit of trouble here for Fairley. Trying to get this third out. First pitch in for a strike. 0-1. Josiah Nelson would be next if the inning continues for Indiana South Bend. The 0-1, nearly the same spot, but a little bit low and away. So now a ball and a strike. So St. Xavier trying to strand the bases loaded. Jefferson stands in. The pitch. Swinging a foul up to the right side. So Jefferson in protect mode here now in a two-strike situation. Runners at every base here for Indiana South Bend as the train rolls by here in Joliet. There's a swing and a miss. Ball down and into the zone. Not really hittable, and that'll end the inning. Little fist pump there from Aaron Orzek behind the plate. So Indiana South Bend threatens, but they cannot score as they leave 3. No runs in the inning on a hit, an error, and 3 left on base. And we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, halfway home in the second game of our opening day doubleheader with a score. St. Xavier 6, Indiana South Bend nothing. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. So here we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. 6-0 St. Xavier with the lead. First pitch here. This ball is hammered. Left center field dropping quickly. A good attempt there in center field, and looks like the catch made. That ball was dropping quickly there, but ranging over to his right, Josiah Nelson able to make the catch. One away in the inning. So one out. And here now is Aaron Orzek for St. Xavier. Justin Massengale leading off the inning there for the Cougars. There's a swing and a high foul ball, and it'll be 0-1 the count. Never try to locate an iPhone charger and announce baseball at the same time. It can be dangerous. There's a fastball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. We play in the 6th inning. I should say the 5th inning. 6-0 lead for St. X. There's a curveball missing inside. Here's the set and the pitch. This is hammered to left field. And will it stay up? Sliding attempt there, and the ball trapped there in left field. This looks to be extra bases. Thrown to second base, however. And they get him. A good recovery there in left field. That ball came on quickly. And Lethet and Lett was able to recover quickly and throw the runner out at second base. So a single and an out at second. And there are now 2 away in the inning. That'll bring up Gabe Kirk. And the pitch. Hit well but foul. St. Xavier continuing to get really good swings for their money here. Next pitch. And that'll be over but low. Righty versus lefty matchup here. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Mighty swing there. But Kirk coming up empty, and he is now in a 2-strike situation. Working quickly here. Swing and a miss, and a ball down and away. Drop third, strike, throw to first base to complete the out, and that'll end the inning. So despite the hit, St. Xavier only sends the minimum to the plate in the 5th inning. No runs on a hit, no errors. None left on base. And we go to the 6th inning. It is St. Xavier 6, Indiana South Bend nothing. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. back in Joliet. Looks like it's Trent Marquezich now pitching here for St. Xavier. He's a 6'3" junior from Mount Olive, Illinois. The first pitch is in for a strike. There's a swing and a miss now. So quickly now 0-2 here is for the Titans. Josiah Nelson now leading it off here for Indiana South Bend. Winding the delivery. Swing and a miss. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, 1 out in the inning. So Nelson fanned on 3 pitches. Here now is Clint Goodman.
Third baseman, number 34, Clint Goodman.
Goodman is 0 for 2. He's been a strikeout victim twice, both on swinging strikeouts. First pitch on the way, a heater down and away. So Jimmy Fairley, the starter for St. Xavier, going 5 full innings of shutout baseball here. Had to work around some tense situations. There's a swing and a pop foul right side out of play. 1-1 here now to Goodman. Top of 6. Indiana South Bend, they have had their chances, leaving the bases loaded in the last inning. There's a swing and a miss. 2-strike situation here for Goodman. I have them unofficially with 5, 6, 8 left on base. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll be the second out of the inning. And here now is Nick Turner.
Catcher number 2, Nick Turner.
Turner has flied out twice, both times to center field. First pitch here. Swing and a miss. Well, right now, this may be a very, very quick inning. There's a ball into the dirt. Marquezich Jr., as we said, from Mount Olive, Illinois. 6'3", listed in the roster. Bouncer foul wide at first. He's trying to make short work of the Titans here in the 6th. Turner facing a 2-strike situation here. A ball and 2 strikes is the count. Lucas Brown would be next. There's a swing and a miss. Ball getting away from home plate. Quickly picked up and a throw to first base. Fired there by Aaron Orzek in time, and that'll end the inning. And so quickly, the right-hander for St. Xavier, Marquezich, coming out and striking out the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on base to the bottom of the 6th. And it's St. Xavier 6 and Indiana South Bend nothing. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. Here we go now. Bottom half of inning number 6. It's been all St. Xavier here this evening in our second of 2 games today to open up the 2025 CCAC Baseball Tournament. And Noah Dreyer to lead it off now here for St. X. And a grounder in the hole at short, knocked down there. And a good effort there. Getting to his feet is Brown at shortstop. Got away a throw, but just couldn't get much behind it. So a leadoff single here on the infield for St. Xavier in the 6th inning. Shea Brozek now due up here for St. X. He is a sacrifice and a single and a run scored.
Number 76, Shea Brozek.
Here's the set now in the first pitch. And it'll be taken outside, 1 ball and no strikes. St. Xavier scoring early and often in this game. The 1-0 runner going. Pitch was a strike, throw to second base. And too late. So Noah Dreyer, a stolen base, and he's in scoring position. Count to the batter, Brozek, is now 1 ball and 1 strike. Brozek has a run scored. Looking to drive in a run here. Grounder towards short. And that'll be off the glove at short of Brown, and everybody will be safe. So runners at first and second, and St. Xavier once again now putting base runners on here in the 6th inning. Here's Michael Flyer. That's how you win ball games. Get base runners on, move them around, get them across the plate. Taking advantage of a couple of mistakes as well. Had a wild pitch bringing a run earlier on today.
Right fielder number 1, Michael Flyer.
So Michael Flyer now stands in. Flyer singled and then later scored, and he was the run that came in on the wild pitch. There's a called strike at the knees, 0-1 here. Travis Hammond next, then we'll remove ourselves back to the top of the order here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Two out, nobody out. Turning a throw to second base, no throw. Oh, and 1 for Flyer. The pitch. Looked like he wanted a butt, pulled the bat back. The pitch was in for a strike. St. Xavier in this game. I've got them unofficially here with 10 hits and now 11. I think we've had a pitch clock violation here. Umpire now calling for time. Discussion will come up. Had one in the first game today that ended an inning, which I hadn't seen at all this year. All right, so about to resume now. And that'll be into the dirt. Good stop there behind the plate by Turner. Two on, nobody out here in the St. Xavier 6th inning. St. Xavier, very comfortable 6-0 lead at this point. Fastball upstairs. St. X with a run in the first, 2 in the second, a run in the third, 2 more in the 4th inning. 5th inning, they threatened but did not score. First time in the game they had not scored in an inning. There's a called strike. Flyer leveling the bat over the plate. Now he's ready to go. Breaking ball. And that'll be a called strike. So now a 2-strike situation here for Michael Flyer. Runners take their leads at first and second. Interesting at bat here, and there's one that coming in high and tight. So kind of a meandering at bat here. The set now and the payoff. That'll miss a little bit low, as it is Hammond batting now, by the way, and he'll draw the walk, and the bases are now loaded. As we said, an interesting inning here. Now back to the top of the order, and here is Sean Moore.
Left fielder, number 8, Sean Moore.
Yeah, I was looking down at my book, heard a cheer go up, and then just noticed toward the end the 2 on the jersey of Travis Hammond there batting. So the bases are now loaded. St. Xavier can almost put the game out of reach here. There's a ball down and in, 1 ball, no strikes the count. Bases are loaded. Swinging a grounder to the right side. They'll try to turn 2 here to second for 1. Relay, close play at the bag at first, but not in time. So the force play at second.
Designated hitter, number 26, John Simpson.
Run coming in now to make it a 7-0 ball game. And runners at first and third. So Moore aboard on the fielder's choice. And here now is John Simasek. So runners at the corners. And the first pitch, as the runner going from first and will take second base. So Sean Moore in at second. Simasek so far tonight is 0 for 3 in this game. So now runners at second and third. A run in here for St. Xavier in the inning. They have a lucky 7 on the board. There's a breaking ball in for a strike. We were talking earlier on about St. Xavier consistently getting runners on base, getting them around. There's a wave and a miss. Throw behind the runner at third, kind of skips away. Good job there at third base by Goodman to keep the ball nearby. Might have hit the runner, as a matter of fact, but either way, no advancement. Runners take their leads. The pitch. Swinging a foul. So we'll continue on with the at-bat. So St. Xavier now with the run in this inning. There's a swing and a foul into the screen. The 5th remains the only inning in which they have not scored. They had a hit in that inning, but still they sent the minimum to the plate because of an out on the bases. The stretch in the pitch. Taken down and away. We're in the 6th, 7-0 St. Xavier with a lead. And they're looking to pad that lead. Swinging a roller, rather a bouncer foul to the left near the on-deck circle. It was certainly not a roller. A little bit of a high hop after it hit the ground just near the hitting area. Back tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. for the first of 4 games coming up tomorrow. The pitch. A heater popping into the catcher's mitt but missing outside. Simasek leveling the bat over the plate. Umpire gesturing toward the first base dugout there a little bit. Might have been some chirping going on there. The umpire might have wanted to stop fairly quickly. Here's the set now and the delivery on the way. Misses outside. That'll be ball 4, and that'll load him up. Real good at bat there to load the bases. It'll bring up Justin Massengale. Justin Massengale lined to center field last time up. Also has a home run. A solo blast that started the 3rd inning for St. Xavier. Also singled in the 1st inning, then was out on the bases. He's had quite the day. So here we go. Bags loaded. First pitch here. In for a strike. Looked like waist high. And so the count now, no balls and 1 strike. Here's the stretch in the delivery. Breaking ball. Nice pitch there, and it goes to 0-2. Boy, that, I think, is a really courageous pitch there, given the situation. Bases loaded. You cannot fall behind any further. You're down 7 as it is. And you make that kind of pitch, that took courage. Swinging a foul back to the screen. 2-strike situation here. So we play in the bottom of the 6th inning. Righty on righty. And the delivery. Swung on, and that'll be into center field for a base hit. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. The lead extends. Runners at first and third. It's now a 9-0 St. Xavier lead. So a solid 2-run single there. And runners at first and third. And will we have a new pitcher coming in for Indiana South Bend as the game now getting away a little bit from the Titans as they trail by 9. Well, that was well struck there. To the left of the shortstop, Brown. And we will have a new pitcher coming into the game. So we will step aside, tell you more after a timeout. As it's all St. X, they lead 9-0. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. We continue on now. Lucky Turman on the game on the mound here now for Indiana South Bend. Sophomore from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And the first pitch in his outing, in for a strike, throw back behind the runner at third, not in time. So 0-1 the count now to the batter. Runners now at second and third. Here's the set now. The pitch. Swung on, skied into the air. There's a mile high left of home plate. And in foul territory, reaching back, a near collision here. And the out recorded to end the inning. Boy, coming on there from third was Goodman. The catcher, Turner, came over and then had to reach back while also dealing with a near collision. And that'll close out the frame.
3 runs on 2 hits, there was 1 error, and 2 runners were left.
So 3 runs, 2 hits, an error, and 2 left on base. Everybody was kind of milling around there after that last out. But anyway, we played through 6, and St. Xavier the lead 9-0 over Indiana South Bend. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. back here at Joliet Slammer Stadium, and a quick first out here on the first pitch in the top of the 7th inning. Lucas Brown retired on one pitch for one away in the inning, and now back to the top of the order for Indiana South Bend. Here's Braden Learthit. So a 9-0 lead now for St. Xavier as we head to the late innings of game number 2. First game today was a good one. It was an 8-3 final in favor of Olivet Nazarene, but that was a deceiving score. There's the first pitch in for a called strike. 0-1 here. The kick and the delivery. Swing and a miss. Well, right now, St. Xavier on track to advance to the second round on the winner's side of the bracket. There's a swing and a sharply hit ball, but foul left side. We'll hold it 0-2. St. Xavier would move on to face number 2, St. Ambrose, tomorrow. There's a swing and a miss for the second out of the inning. 2 up, 2 down. And that'll bring to the plate Jack Ryan. Ryan reaching on an error last time up. He's officially 1 for 3, had a single back in the first inning. Takes the first pitch here in for a called strike, 1-0. I should say a ball, I think. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the wind of the delivery. The count is moot. Fly ball to set to right field. Stays well up in the air there, and an easy grab for Flyer and right, and that'll end the inning. And so quickly, Indiana South Bend for the second straight inning, set down in very short order. So in the inning for Indiana South Bend, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Stretch time in Joliet, and it's St. Xavier leading at 9-0. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. On we go, bottom half of inning number 7. And the first pitch here will be, look like down and away, 1 ball, no strikes. It is Gabe Kirk leading it off here now in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the wind of the pitch. And it'll be on the inner half, called strike. Kirk has a single, a fly out, and a strikeout. Here's the set of the pitch. Missed outside. St. Xavier 7 runs in the ball game, make it 9 runs in the ball game as they are up 9-0. There's a swing and a miss. This game right now kind of settling into a pattern. I have St. Xavier unofficially with 12 hits in this game. Golf swinging a high pop-up, left side, foul territory, and that will be, it stayed barely in the field of play, but it was not caught. Good effort there at third base. Goodman going after it there, but not able to get to it. So the at-bat continues. As we were saying, right now we seemingly will be on track for a matchup tomorrow. St. Xavier and St. Ambrose in game number 4 at 1 p.m. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And so that'll be the first out of the inning. So 1 away here in the St. Xavier 7th. As we said, the game now settling in here a little bit. As there's the first pitch low and outside. 1 ball to no strikes is the count. Noah Dreyer's spot in the order due up, and there's a swing and a miss. Actually a foul back to the screen. And it is Dreyer batting. Dreyer today has singled a couple of times, scored a couple of times as well tonight. As it has been all St. Xavier in this ball game. Righty versus righty. The pitch. Over but low. That continues. And a ball and 2 strikes. Shea Brozick next, then it would be Michael Flyer here for St. Xavier in the bottom of the 7th inning. St. Xavier now 6 defensive outs away from advancing. Here's the delivery. Down low. Indiana South Bend in this game. Seemingly not a lot of scoring opportunities, although they have left runners on base. There's a grounder wide of third foul. I have them unofficially with 3, 5, 8 left on base. They have not left a man on base since the 5th inning. As the last 6 Titans, actually the last 7 to bat, have been retired by St. Xavier pitching. Here's the set and the delivery. Golf swing and a fly ball. Right field, ball has some carry to it. Drifting back a little bit, the catch made there by Farnham in right for the out. So 2 away in the inning. Chuckling a little bit because Dreyer on that play kept going. And that ball was clearly not deep enough to be a home run, as here's Shea Brozick. But Dreyer kept going. And he kept trotting towards second, started around second base. There's a ball outside, low and away, 1-0 the count. And on a couple of occasions over the course of my days, which are more in number than I would like to admit, a couple of times where I thought maybe that indicated a home run, with a runner rounding second and looking as if he was keeping, as if he's going to keep going. There's a strike on the outside edge. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Just past the 2-hour mark of this ball game. 1-1 bouncing in front of the plate. 2 balls and a strike now. Michael Flyer would be next, heading toward the bottom of the St. Xavier order. St. Xavier the lead, 9-0 in the bottom of the 7th inning. The pitch. A little bit low. I have it now 3-1. Again, not operating here. We've got the auxiliary scoreboard here working to the right. That was not working at the start of the first game today. The main video board In the video portion of the board, there's a ball down low and away, ball 4, and that's a 2-out base runner for St. X now. Main video board kind of working, but the scoreboard itself is not, so we've had to kind of keep track of everything kind of the old-fashioned way. Michael Flyer now due up here for St. Xavier. Flyer able to reach base on an error last time up. He's reached twice tonight, also as a single. First pitch here down and away, 1-0. Runner at first, 2 down in the inning. The pitch. And that'll be a high foul fly slicing down the right field line, well out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Right now, darkness setting in, and earlier on today, we had the overcast skies all day long. Nice to be able to see the ball against the background of the sky right now, and it's put into the air. You can lose track of it a little bit. There's a called strike. 1-2 the count now. Flyer back into the batter's box. A ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Overthrew that one, and it goes in, down, and away. Runner takes a short lead off at first base. And the pitch. In the dirt. Runner going from first to second, throw down to second base, and it'll be the first base side of the bag. Tag applied there by Brown, shortstop, but the runner is in safely. So Brozek a stolen base. Runner in scoring position here for St. X. Two away in the inning. Runner at second now for the Cougars. Swinging a high fly ball. Medium deep right field. Now coming in into his left, and the catch made by Farnham in right field, and that'll end the inning. So St. Xavier not able to score as in the frame. No runs for the Cougars. No hits, a walk, no errors, and 1 left on base. And after 7 complete, it is St. Xavier 9 and Indiana South Bend nothing. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. We head to the very late stages of this game, top of the 8th inning. 9-0, it's all St. Xavier. And Logan Antrim, 6-foot senior from Effingham, Illinois, now throwing here for St. Xavier. Looked like the first pitch came in a little bit low. 1 ball to no strikes. So we head to the 8th inning. Indiana South Bend trying to at least get a run on the board. Hopper there to second base, Bobble there at second. It'll kind of skip into short right field, and so a leadoff base runner here for Indiana South Bend. So Gabriel Cortez able to reach here now is Caleb Farnham for the Titans. Farnham has been hit by a pitch twice and also singled. Angled stance to the right side of the diamond. First pitch here, down and away, 1 ball, no strikes. We look back at the way this ball game has developed, as there's a ball a little bit low, 2-0 the count. That situation there, by the way, to start the inning for Indiana South Bend, the first base runner since back in the 5th inning after a hit by a pitch. Swinging a fly ball, and that will be caught for the out. 1 away in the inning. Farnham flies to center. Here's Joe Jefferson. Jefferson standing in, 1 on, 1 out in the top of the 8th inning. Lefty versus righty, swing and a miss, and the count, no balls and a strike. Both teams with a classic look with the jerseys, wearing pinstripes. The 0-1, taken for strike 2. Jefferson kind of walked out of the batter's box there a little bit, looked a little bit discouraged as he got back into the box. So he's behind at 0-2. Going after this one, and it'll be popped up foul, right side out of play. And we'll hold it, no balls and 2 strikes. Indiana South Bend, unless they can stage what would be a very memorable comeback, we'll head to the bottom part of the bracket. There's a swing and a fly ball down the right field line. Sliding attempt near the bullpen and right to try to make the grab there by Flyer, but don't believe he came up with it, and he's slow getting up now. He's back up and on his feet. The winner of this game to play tomorrow afternoon at 1 against St. Ambrose. And the loser of this game will play an elimination game tomorrow at 4 p.m. It'll be against the loser of the Judson-Olivet Nazarene game. Swinging a soft liner that'll be into right field for a base hit. So the line, at least I was about to say the line keeping moving, but I think it's more accurate to say the line starting to form there on the bases for the Titans, as Jefferson, his first hit in 3 official trips to the plate tonight. And Josiah Nelson now due up here. Looks like we may have a pinch runner coming into the game at first base here for Indiana South Bend now. I think that's 1-5 on the jersey number. So runners at first and second. There is 1 out in the inning. First pitch here, missing down and away. 1 ball, no strikes, as Nelson spot in the order due up. We play in the 8th inning, 9-0. St. Xavier in command of this game. The pitch, down and inside. 2-0. Good stop behind the plate there. Aaron Orsic sliding to his left, able to block the ball. Here's the set. And the 2-0 offering in the zone, but skied into the air. Popped up just to the left of second base, calling for it, and the catch made there by Dreyer at short for the out. So 2 away in the inning. And here now is Clint Goodman. Goodman 0 for 3, 3 swinging strikeouts. So he'll try to reverse what's been a rough evening for him so far. Because after the first one here and lobs it into short left field, and that'll fall in for a base hit, station to station here. And the bases will be loaded here for now for Indiana South Bend. Everybody moving up a base. And now Nick Turner, the catcher, due up. Turner, left-handed hitting catcher, will step in now. He is 0 for 3, struck out swinging last time up. Takes the first pitch, a nice breaker there. Kind of curved in over the inner half of the plate for the called strike, 0-1. Lucas Brown next, then back to the top of the order for the Titans. Trying to get on the board here. Bases are loaded, 2 down in the inning. Just as I looked up from my scorebook, time called. Umpire with the card out. And it looks like we're about ready to resume. Next pitch, and that'll be rolled to the right of second base into center field for a base hit. 1 run will score. Everybody else will stop at their next bases. So a run coming in is Cortez scoring to make it a 9-1 ball game. So there goes the shutout. And Turner the RBI single. Bases remain loaded. And here is Lucas Brown, the shortstop. First pitch here. Low and outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Brown is 0 for 3 here tonight. Still runners at every base. And there's a ball outside, 2-0. So the Cougars having trouble here trying to get this final out here in the top half of inning number 8. Working quickly and down and away, 3-0. No place to put the batter here. A miss here would give Brown an RBI on a bases-loaded walk, would make it a 9-2 ball game. The pitch. That'll be a strike on the outer half. Well, no green light there. Really, that situation wouldn't call for one. You're down by 8. Bases loaded. There's a swing and a miss. And that makes it 3-2. Braden Leithhead would be next if the inning continues. Here's the wind, the runner's going, 3-2 pitch. And that'll be popped up down the left field line. Multiple players going after it, and I believe it did land in the bullpen. So the at-bat continued on. That was a pop foul on the left side. Multiple players going after it. There were runners moving around and infielders moving around everywhere on the infield. A lot of moving parts there, and then it wound up to be just a foul ball. So Brown battling here. Here's the set. 2-2 pitch. And again, fouled off to the left. It'll hit into the upper deck of seats in front of one of the suites here and then carry him back down into the lower bowl. 2 out, bases loaded. A run in for Indiana South Bend here in inning number 8. 9-1 ball game. The pitch. Breaking ball, called, third strike. Oh, he froze him there on a beautiful pitch, and that'll end the inning. So in the inning, Indiana South Bend able to put a run on the board. They pick up a run.
In the inning for Indiana South Bend, 1 run on 3 hits. There was 1 error and 3 runners were left on.
1 run on 3 hits, 3 left on base, and we go bottom 8. And it is St. Xavier 9, Indiana South Bend 1. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. All right, down we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and the first pitch here will be a called strike. As we head to the very late stages, we've been in the very late stages for a bit of time now. 9-1 in favor of St. Xavier. 9-1-2 due up in the order here for St. X. Here's the 0-1 pitch now, and that'll be down low, 1 ball and 1 strike the count. So it's Travis Hammond leading it off here. He walked last time up. He's officially 1 for 2 in this game. Next offering in there for a strike. So Hammond in a 2-strike situation here. Sean Moore next. Then it would be John Simasek here for St. Xavier. Pitch on the way. Low and away. I believe that'll square it up now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just about now at the 2.5 hour mark time of this ball game. 2-2. Breaking ball. Called third strike on the inner half. 1 away in the inning. 1 out, back to the top now of the St. Xavier order. So Sean Moore to the plate now for St. X. Moore hit into a fielder's choice last time up. Later came around to score. That was back in the 6th inning. He also has singled, walk, and grounded back to the pitcher. That drove in a run. First pitch bouncing in for ball 1, right around the home plate area. St. Xavier seemingly well on their way to a victory here in the bottom of the 8th inning, leading it by 8. Swinging a sharply hit ball to second base. Charging, fielding, and throwing to first base there is Ryan at second, and that'll be the 2nd out of the inning. Two away for John Simasek, his spot in the order to up here. And he will bat. I'm a little surprised we haven't had more pinch hitting, given the way this game has gone. Simasek is 0 for 3 and a walk. First pitch here. Looked like it was a little bit of a hanger, but he got under it. A fly ball high into the air down the right field side, and it'll be caught there in right field by Farnham. And that'll end a very quick bottom of the 8th inning for St. Xavier. So in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Last swings coming up here for Indiana South Bend. We go to the 9th inning. It is St. Xavier 9, Indiana South Bend 1. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. All right, here we go. Top of the ninth inning. St. Xavier trying to close out this ball game. Braden Leathed will lead it off here now for Indiana South Bend. Here in inning number 9. And he takes the first pitch. Leathed, Ryan, and then Cortez due up here for the Titans in the ninth inning. The pitch. Taking and low and away. 2-0. So St. Xavier 3 outs away from a date tomorrow with St. Ambrose. 1 p.m. start. There's a ball pulled deep down the left field line and foul. And Indiana South Bend will play in the 5th game of the day tomorrow at 4 p.m. 5th game of the day, 5th game of the tournament. It'll be the 3rd of the day tomorrow at 4 p.m. Leathed swinging here and a high fly ball. Short center field coming out. A little bit of a run there, but the catch made by Hammond in center for the first out of the inning. 1 away. Here's Ryan. Jack Ryan tonight. Fly to right the last time up. Also has reached on an error, a single, and he has also popped out. Popped to second base, taking the first pitch here. Looked like a little bit low. Well, the win here in game 1. St. Xavier will move now to 28-22 this season. The pitch. In for a strike. Indiana South Bend, the number 6 seed. They are set to fall to 22-29. Spinning out of the way of that pitch there was Ryan as it came in tight. Just a little bit shy of the 9 o'clock hour here in Joliet. Check swing. Did he go around? Looks like he did. And that'll make it 2-2. The wind not moving the flags around on the poles much, but you can hear it in the effects microphone. This is sharply hit, and that'll be into right field for a base hit. Well, Massengale in right field there at second base was well into short right field there, but it skidded by him. So 1 out single in the 9th inning for the Titans. And here is Gabriel Cortez to the plate. Cortez reaching on an error last time up. Later came around to score what so far has been the only run of the game for Indiana South Bend. First pitch to him. And it'll be well up and out of the zone. And it'll skip to the backstop here. And that will allow for an advancement to second base here in the 9th. So 1-0 is the count to Cortez. Short lead there at second base. Bouncer to the right side of the mound. And this may be a 3-1 putout. Fielded there by Kirk, throw to first base, and the pitcher covering. And that'll be out number 2 as runner advancing from second to third. And St. Xavier now 1 out away from putting this ball game away. Last hope, Caleb Farnham spot in the order here now for Indiana South Bend. And Farnham will take some practice swings before moving into the batter's box. Farnham flied to center last time up. He's been hit by a pitch twice and singled as well. Runner at third, 2 away. First pitch high and away, 1 ball, no strikes. Well, St. Xavier will know their opponent tomorrow. Meanwhile, Indiana South Bend will not know until another game is played tomorrow, who they will next meet up with in an elimination game. There's a ball outside. 2 balls and no strikes. With the scheduling of the weekdays shifting around this tournament, I keep thinking Tomorrow is Saturday. That's not anywhere near accurate. Here's the pitch. Golf swing and a sky ball in the center field. This should do it as Hammond is there calling for it. And that will end the ball game. And St. Xavier scoring early and often, and they cruise to a 9-1 win here in their opening game of the tournament. And they will advance to a winner's bracket game tomorrow afternoon. So 9-1 the final in favor of St. Xavier. First game of the day went to Olivet Nazarene 8-3 over Viterbo. So two of the pairings tomorrow now are set. As St. Xavier advancing tomorrow. And again, they will play against St. Ambrose at 1 p.m. and Indiana South Bend. They will wait and see who they will have to play, as they will be in an elimination game tomorrow. And they will face the loser of the game between Olivet Nazarene and Judson tomorrow at 4 p.m., as we said, an elimination game. So 9-1 the final score here tonight, as two games of the CCAC baseball tournament, and the first day of the tournament is in the books. Thanks to Amanda Jensen on stats. Thanks to all of you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast today. We'll be back with you bright and early tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. for a winner's bracket ball game between Judson and Olivet Nazarene. Again, the final in Game 2 tonight, St. Xavier 9, Indiana South Bend 1. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Hope to see you tomorrow as we roll through a 4 tomorrow. Either way, until then, we appreciate your being with us. And until tomorrow, this is Tom Westenfeld. Thanks for tuning in. And from Joliet, we wish you all a very pleasant good night.